Hey, it's me, Nikki, and welcome to my reset journey where I am on this wild journey and it just keeps getting more interesting. Guys, I am on month 2 of this journey, okay? Um it's been wild. I've been getting so much revelation on things. My body is sometimes not accepting it too great. I'm learning a lot about the nervous system and the patterns of the things we teach our body. Everything we've done to our body has a memory, it has a pattern. And when you are going against it, it can be hard. Whether you're craving things that you used to want or old patterns of how you handle emotional situations and things that you were turning to, but you no longer can turn to, in ways like even whether it be substance, food, in your anger or having anxiety about it and just trying to surrender everything and give it to God and say, hey, you take it. You take it. And having to rebuild my foundation and reading the Bible and reading these spiritual books on the side as well. So I start off my day with reading the Bible. I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to open my book, and then I'm going to do some studying. I made this like a couple years back. And I did already write in it some, but then I started to use it as a study Bible, a study note pad for my Bible. So I have all the tabs here, and I have done these in about a year, like a year. These are all the books I've studied, where I'm trying to get like the context of like what was going on in that time and why the writer is saying these things to that church. I'm in the New Testament right now, and I started with the book of Acts. I am now on First John. I still have to do Second John, Third John. I think there's like another book, and then Revelations. And then I have to do the 4 Gospels. I'm waiting on my new notepad so that I can start my Bible studying in there. At night, I read this book. I just finished my other one. I read another book before that. The other one helped me with like my inner thoughts. It was like inner healing of old thought patterns that were keeping me bound. Healing like the inner child or my inner self. Sorry. Yeah, so healing like my inner child, inner self healing. It was a really good book. Had me crying almost all the way through. This one is called Leaving Defeat. This one is hard because, of course, it's called Leaving Defeat, meaning you're going to have to face the things that defeat you. It warns you that, hey, you might not be able to get through this whole book. There's going to be some touchy subjects. You may put it down and be like, I never want to read that book again. When I read that, I told the author in my head, I'm like, girl, calm down. It's not that serious. We're going to read this book. Then I got to a chapter where I was like, oh yeah. This is when I put the book down. And I don't know if I want to pick it back up. I was reading the book of James in the morning when I went to a certain chapter that was like, I mean, it's not telling you anything crazy, but I mean, it's called Leaving Defeat. So you get the aspect that I'm going to have to face the things I don't want to face. The things I don't want to face have to meet the God that I am starting this relationship with. And it's going to have to be like, okay, which is bigger? The things that you fear or this God that you're really diving into and that you're really wanting to get to know? I mentally had like a breakdown, and literally, I'm glad I had the breakdown. When I was having it, I wasn't glad, but it broke a barrier. And it made me have to decide, like, well, what are you doing? What is it that you want to do with your life, and why are you on this journey? If you were, I mean, you're going to have to face certain things, right? Anyways, don't mind me and my popsicle. Good book. I went to the doctor on Wednesday, which was March 4th, I believe, 2026. Had to get my new blood result for the year. There was some stuff that we were working on from October of 2025. And my levels to my liver came down significantly, was a word that she used. She was so proud of me. My cholesterol even came down some. My vitamin D still got to work on. I am having side effects from vitamin D pills, so I have to try to get it from the sun and other sources, as well as trying to get at least small doses of the pill in. That's been really hard on me because for some reason my body's not liking it. But I did get like a bad update on another issue that I'm having, and that just sent me spiraling a little bit. But now I'm like kind of calming down and saying, you know what? I'm going to try to do it the natural way. If not, because I have all these issues with taking certain stuff, we'll see how it goes. Like, I could give it a try. I don't know. We'll see. I have to see her in 6 months again. I've been dealing with like a lot of panic attacks. Like, I don't even know why. Some people say that when you're making changes in your body, and your body doesn't recognize it, or it feels like you're going against what it's used to, and you're not, you can have like panic attacks and stuff, which I already deal with panic attacks and agoraphobia, panic disorder. That is like a huge part of my testimony. It may be different for you. You may be on your journey dealing with different stuff, but that's me. That's the big one. There's like a lot of things, but that's the big one. But my main thing of this journey is not to focus on facing agoraphobia. It's based on just getting closer to God. Like, I just want to be with God. Because like, even in my dreams, I couldn't handle my dreams. They were so, even my dreams are in bondage. I was visualizing myself just being close with God, seeing him as my father, being safe with him on a hilltop, grassy hilltop, with some wildflowers, clear blue skies. We're by this huge tree. God is next to me, and I'm laying in the shadow of him. It just feels so breezy, calm, and peaceful, and I just love being there with my dad. I've always believed in God, but something happened back in like 2019, 2020, all the way to 2023, when I decided to go on a journey back to him. And I did. I'm back with him. Me and my family, we seek him. This journey that I've started now, when I started this reset journey, was to fix something that had been broken between me and God. Trust, some hurt, some church hurt, some hurt in my past. I finally wanted to face some past issues and just find some healing over it. I started telling him to reveal everything to me and tell me who I need to forgive, or who do I need to, who did I hurt? Like, reveal it. Like, let's deal with it. Let's put it all on the table. Let's go through these skeletons in the closet, if you want to call it. I don't know. So much has just been coming up. Sorry if this is bothering you. I've been waking up dehydrated a lot. For those who deal with POTS know what I mean. MCAS, you know what I mean. Like I said, I know everybody else's journey is different. I'm talking about these things because it's mine, and I want to be able to look back and see what was I going through. Because when we go through a journey, we'll always remember all the highs. Yeah, I would get up and read the Bible, and I was reading this book and that book. These spiritual books help me. And then it's like you forget, like, oh, you know what? I was still struggling during that time. I was having panic attacks. I was getting some bad reports from the doctor. There were things I was having to work on. I did have hard days. I did have like a mental breakdown. I was kind of coming back and forth like, man, am I ready to face the things I don't want to face? And it's kind of embarrassing admitting that you struggle with agoraphobia. It's a phobia. You're afraid to leave your house. Why? I don't know. No, I do know. I started with panic attacks. I always had a panic attack in the store. And I thought, man, it was big stores, man. Let me go to small stores. So I started just shopping at small stores. Then they started happening there. And I was like, man, I'm having issues with stores. I'm a big park person. Picnics at the park, that's my thing. Started having them at the park. And I just thought, maybe I need to stay home. Maybe my body's telling me to stay home. And I did. Doesn't stop the panic attacks, but slowed them down. Something I'm learning is when you deal with agoraphobia, always remember it was a learned phobia. You taught yourself to be afraid of going outside. You little by little secluded yourself. and then you just kind of stayed in the house. The same way you got in it is going to be the same way you get out of it, little by little. Taking back the ground that you lost. But now, like I deal with reactive hypoglycemia, MCAS, and POTS, it's hard. There's a lot of things I struggle with. But I'm not saying all this to feel sorry for myself. I'm documenting what I'm going through right now. I want to admit something right now that probably would be embarrassing. But not. Like, I'm not embarrassed of it, but like, my husband has to push me in a wheelchair to go house to house. Because leaving this address is what freaks me out. Some people saw me. And these people know I can walk. But it makes me feel better when I'm on a wheelchair because I'm not having to worry about my knees buckling and me freezing and me like, how do I, I'm this, I'm that, or my sugar's dropping because I'm moving too much. Like, literally all those things. And I just told my husband, get my wheelchair. Because I have a wheelchair because I was in a wheelchair for a little bit because of another medical issue. It was a temporary thing. And I remember he used to push me and that helped me just enjoy like the visualization of leaving the house. So he's been pushing me in the wheelchair. Just going house to house. Little by little we go a little further. And we talk on that time. And I got a phone call. I got 2 phone calls where they were making fun of me. Do you need to be in that wheelchair? Can't you walk? Why aren't you walking? Why do you refuse to walk? Somebody always has something to say, right? Like, you got to get better. You're trying to do the best you can. Last year I was walking in the morning. I would walk house to house. I was going a little far. I was doing good. I got a phone call. Why are you walking so early? What are you doing? Why are you walking at 7 in the morning? And I'm like, dude, let me just be. Let me walk. Let me get pushed in the wheelchair. Heck, if I get a go-kart, let me get in the go-kart. If I get just let me be me. I'm not bothering you. People just always got something to say. I had to face a lot of fears on Wednesday when I went to my doctor appointment because I went fasting. And if you deal with RH, you know that is really hard. So I went fasting and then I dealt with the agoraphobia. And then there was 2 other phobias. And I dealt with them. I felt great. I did good. I had read a story the night before. And I had just made a video on my podcast channel on this one of the girl in the pit. It's about a girl who digs herself into her own pit and she just made a home there. Hello. And there was a story in a chapter and it talked about Gideon, how Gideon was like from a weak family and he was the weakest of them all. And they were afraid of, I forgot who it was, but the enemy, the bad people, would come and steal their crops after they had already planted them and they were ready for harvest. Their crops would get stolen and I guess like they were struggling, like they were hungry. They were getting everything stolen from them. And this had been happening for years. And God tells Gideon, I'm going to use you to break this. And Gideon's like, wait a minute. It says Gideon was the weakest one. He comes from the weakest family. And he was the weakest one of the family. And he's like, me? You don't understand. It can't be me. I'm this and I'm that. And God tells him, no, I'm going to use you. And I was like, man, God sees us so differently. He sees us so differently than what we see ourselves or what other people see. It's amazing. He's amazing. I was like, I just did the girl in the pit. And then to hear that he was hiding in caves. And so he was in a cave and I was in a pit. And we made homes there. It's just amazing. And then God says, I'm going to use you to break what is happening. And then you're going to help everybody else. And everybody's going to be able to eat and have a good life because of what you're going to do. And he's like, me? He chose the weakest. When you choose the weakest and you're like, it doesn't matter what your situation is, you're with me. I got you. That's all you need to hear. That's exactly what I'm looking for in this journey. Because with my mindset and with my body, I'm like, I can't. I need vitamin D, but POTS reacts when you're in the sun. I can't take the pill because of the reactions. And so many things come against me because of the body and the mind. And I'm like, I can't do it, God. I can't, but you can. And just like Gideon was looking at, he's the weakest one out of everyone. But you're like, hey, but you're with me. I'm all you need, baby. I'm right here with you. That's not how God talks, but in my head. In my head, that's how he talks. So I heard that story the day before I went to my doctor appointment. And it was what I needed. Right now, I'm having to be pushed around in a wheelchair. But I know if I work on my diet, my levels will get better. My blood sugar will get better. I'll be able to handle extra movement, extra exercising without negative effects. I know this. I just have to do the work. I have to do it. I have to be disciplined. I have to be consistent. I have to do the things that I need to do for my body to get there. So right now, yes, it's funny. I'm getting pushed in a wheelchair. But there'll be a day where I won't need it. And the heck with it. It's my journey, you know. Who cares who laughs at me? This is my life. This is my story. I'm just a girl trying to trust God. I was telling my husband, even if I don't break bondages, which I know I will, but even if I don't, even if the healing that I'm looking for don't happen, the number one thing that I started out this journey with and for, the number one thing is just my relationship with God. I wanted it restored. I wanted to fix the past hurt and the past trust issues and something that broke years ago. I wanted that fixed. And that's why I started the reset journey. That's the number one thing. I just want to be close with my Father again. I want to be that little girl on the hill with him again. Just me and him. Just want to feel him again. I do feel him. I used to always feel him around. I knew he was always with me. Jehovah Shammah. He has a lot of names. Look him up. They're beautiful. This is what this journey is for me. And I hope that while you're on your journey, that your number one focus is God. And just restoring a relationship with him or creating a relationship with him. Trust me, he'll put a dream in your heart. Visions. Purpose. Everything will come. But you gotta incline your ear to him. You have to lean on him. You have to trust him. Search him. Seek him. Invite him into your life. I've had many journeys coming to the Lord. It started in 2023. All of my family, me, my daughters, and my husband seeking God. All on our own separate journeys. And I decided to go deeper right around the time I made this YouTube podcast. I said, I want to go back and heal some memories, some old stuff, some triggers. Like, I don't want to be that person who can't receive something because a trigger, you keep saying a trigger word or the way you're acting triggers me. I don't want to be led by triggers. I don't want to be blocked by triggers. Why do I have these triggers? Let me get rid of them. I just wanted some self-healing, some inner healing. Healing on mine and God's relationship. Of course, the things that have kept me in bondage, anxieties, panic, whatever phobias are going to come up because I'm a person trying to leave defeat. But I am more than a person who struggles with agoraphobia. There's so much more to me. That is not my whole story. That is not who I am. And my life is not just about that. It's just a girl wanting to get closer to God and heal some messed up stuff from her past. And then we'll go from there if he wants me to. But anyways, this is my update. This is my update for myself. Where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm dealing with. I am blessed with these amazing children of mine who speak God over me and won't let me feel sorry for myself. They'll put me right back in my identity. I have a husband who prays for me and loves me and will even push me in a wheelchair just to help me feel some type of freedom. Even if he has to push me for a little bit. Regardless of who makes fun of me. I may have a small team of support, but I'm blessed to even have that. So, that's what's in my journey right now. That is what I'm going through. This is where I'm at. 2026, March. Oh, when I had back-to-back panic attacks yesterday for almost 2 hours. That was fun. Number one thing my doctor told me to work on, high blood pressure. So let's start off the week with a bunch of panic attacks. Why? Let's not do that. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Life can be so beautiful. And it can be hard. Depending on the type of perspective you put on it and the way you frame it is going to determine how you go through it. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for joining my video today. I'm very blessed. I pray that it helps somebody. If not, it'll be here for me. And I pray you guys have a blessed one, and I hope you're doing good in your journey. Like I said, whether you started it to deal with some stuff or heal the relationship with God, or you're just starting your relationship with God, read your word every day. Don't stop. Regardless of who makes fun of you, regardless who supports you or who don't. You're doing this for you and for him. So stay focused. I hope you're doing good. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next video. I'll probably do some Bible studies. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'll see you on the next video. God bless. Bye.